From a flicker of candlelight in 1789 to the glare of modern screens in the West Wing, every president has held the pen. Executive orders not passed by Congress, but etched into law by command. Some shaped history. Some sparked controversy. Others were forgotten. Until now. This is where we break them down. Every signature, every shift in power, every consequence still felt today. From Washington to Biden, welcome to Executive Order Watch.
Democracy, we live for it. For democracy, we fight for it. For democracy, we've died for it. And for democracy, we watch it. This is Executive Order Watch.
When I look back on the year 2010, I remember a nation still healing, still digging itself out from the wreckage of the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. We entered that year with purpose and with pressure. Our economy was fragile, joblessness was high, and American families were desperate for relief and direction. But I made one thing clear. We would not govern from fear. We would govern with vision. 2010 had to be about building the foundation for long-term growth, accountability, and fairness. That's why we passed the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. It was the most significant piece of social legislation in generations. Millions of Americans who'd been locked out of basic health care now had a chance to live with dignity, with security. It wasn't easy. We took heat from every direction, but I didn't run for office to do what was easy. I ran to do what was right. We also signed into law the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. That law was about reining in Wall Street's recklessness and making sure another meltdown wouldn't crush Main Street again. It gave us the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, a watchdog to stand up for ordinary Americans in the fine print of their mortgages, credit cards, and loans. We faced disasters, too, like the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. That tragedy didn't just devastate the Gulf Coast's economy and ecosystems, it exposed deep flaws in how we regulate energy. I took responsibility, and I made sure the response was swift, science-led, and transparent. Internationally, we worked to draw down troops from Iraq and recalibrate our strategy in Afghanistan. Diplomacy, smart power, and alliances were back at the center of our foreign policy. But let's be honest, 2010 wasn't a year without bruises. We lost the House in the midterms. The political climate grew more toxic. Misinformation spread faster than fact. But I never let opposition stop the mission. If Congress blocked, I acted through other channels, through appointments, through diplomacy, and yes, through executive orders. Those executive orders, we'll get into those shortly. Because while Congress debated, I governed, and the pen remained mighty. Stay with us. We're about to unpack the executive actions of 2010, what they meant then, and how they still shape our country today. Executive Order 13,528, establishment of the Council of Governors on January 11th, 2010. Executive Order 13,529, ordering the selected reserve and certain individual ready reserve members of the armed forces to active duty on January 16th, 2010. Executive Order 13,530, President's Advisory Council on Financial Capability on January 29th, 2010. Executive Order 13,531, National Commission Fiscal Responsibility and Reform on February 18, 2010. Executive Order 13,532, Promoting Excellence, Innovation, and Sustainability at Historically Black Colleges and Universities on February 26, 2010. Executive Order 13,533, providing an order of succession within the Department of Defense on March 1st, 2010. Executive Order 13,534, National Export Initiative on March 11th, 2010. Executive Order 13,535, ensuring enforcement and implementation of abortion restrictions in the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act on March 24, 2010. Executive Order 13,536, blocking property of certain persons contributing to the conflict in Somalia on April 12, 2010. Executive Order 13,537, interagency group on insular areas on April 14, 2010. Executive Order 13,538, establishing the President's Management Advisory Board on April 19, 2010, Executive Order 13,539, President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology on April 21, 2010. Executive Order 13,540, Interagency Task Force on Veterans Small Business Development on April 26, 2010. Executive Order 13,541, Temporary Organization to Facilitate a Strategic Partnership with the Republic of Iraq on May 7, 2010. Executive Order 13,542, providing an order of succession within the Department of Agriculture on May 13, 2010. Executive Order 13,543, National Commission on the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill and offshore drilling on May 21, 2010. Executive Order 13,544, establishing the National Prevention, Health Promotion, and Public Health Council on June 10, 2010. Executive Order 13,545, President's Council on Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition on June 22, 2010. Executive Order 13,546, optimizing the security of biological select agents and toxins in the United States on July 2, 2010. Executive Order 13,547, Stewardship of the Ocean, our coasts, and the Great Lakes on July 19, 2010. Executive Order 13,548, increasing federal employment of individuals with disabilities on July 26, 2010. Executive Order 13,549, Classified National Security Information Program for state, local, tribal, and private sector entities on August 18, 2010. Executive Order 13,550, establishment of Pakistan and Afghanistan Support Office on August 18, 2010. Executive Order 13,551, blocking property of certain persons with respect to North Korea on August 30, 2010. Executive Order 13,552, 2010 amendments to the Manual for Courts Martial, United States on August 31, 2010. Executive Order 13,553, blocking property of certain persons with respect to serious human rights abuses by the government of Iran and taking certain other actions on September 28, 2010. Executive Order 13,554, establishing the Gulf Coast Ecosystem Restoration Task Force on October 5, 2010. Executive Order 13,555, White House Initiative on Educational Excellence for Hispanics on October 19, 2010. Executive Order 13,556, Controlled Unclassified Information on November 4, 2010. Executive Order 13,557, providing an order of succession within the Department of Justice on November 4, 2010. Executive Order 13,558, Export Enforcement Coordination Center on November 9, 2010. Executive Order 13,559, Fundamental Principles and Policymaking Criteria for Partnerships with Faith-Based and Other Neighborhood Organizations on November 17, 2010. Executive Order 13,560, White House Council for Community Solutions on December 14, 2010. Executive Order 13,561, Adjustments of certain rates of pay on December 22, 2010.
Pauline's Pizza, where we deliver happiness one slice at a time. What's your craving today?
Yeah, hi. Is Seymour there?
Oh, Seymour. I think he might be busy making our special pies. But hey, why not swing by the pizzeria? We've got a pie with your name on it. Anything else I can help you with?
I was looking for Seymour Butts.
I see. Well, if you're looking for Seymour Butts, he might be hiding behind a pepperoni slice. Anything else I can do for you today?
No, that's it.
Hi, I'm Terrence, a marketing professional with a passion for helping your business grow smarter and faster. Here at Da Bomb Digital Media, based right here in Atlanta, Georgia, we specialize in bringing your vision to life. Whether you're launching your first website or reimagining your entire digital presence, we've got you covered. From modern website design and search engine optimization to setting up your own AI-powered agency tools, we deliver innovative solutions that keep you ahead of the curve. Ready to unlock your business's full potential? Let's build something remarkable together. For more information, visit our YouTube channel. Just search DaBomb Digital Media on YouTube and start exploring tips, success stories, and everything you need to elevate your brand.
2010, Executive Order 13,562, recruiting and hiring students and recent graduates on December 27, 2010.
My fellow Americans, let's take a moment to turn back the clock to the year 2010, a turning point in modern American governance. The country was still digging out from the Great Recession. Unemployment was sky high, families were hurting, trust in institutions was low, and recovery was uncertain. But under President Barack Obama's leadership, 2010 became a year of rebuilding, not just of the economy, but of purpose. This was a year marked by action, not delay. Bold executive orders, decisive legislation, and a clear message. The federal government would not sit idle while Americans suffered. The president's approach to governing in 2010. President Obama believed in the power of thoughtful, strategic governance. He wasn't trying to grab headlines. He was trying to solve problems. He used executive orders not as political theater, but as tools to realign priorities, modernize institutions, and protect the most vulnerable among us. From restoring trust in government hiring to boosting small businesses and safeguarding civil rights, each stroke of the pen carried weight. This wasn't about building a legacy, it was about building a ladder, so Americans could climb out of crisis, one rung at a time. Executive action in focus, impact on the year. Let's talk about the role executive orders played in shaping 2010. Jobs and economic growth EO. 13,562 revamped the way students and recent graduates enter the federal workforce. It created pathways for young talent to lead, learn, and serve, right when youth unemployment was peaking. Human Rights and Foreign Policy Executive Order 13553 sent a powerful message by blocking the property of those complicit in human rights abuses in Iran. It didn't just freeze assets, it froze impunity. Veterans and Small Business Support Executive Order 13,540 formed an interagency task force for veterans' small business development, empowering returning service members to rebuild their lives through entrepreneurship, environmental stewardship. EO 13,547 laid down the framework for long-term protection of our coast, oceans, and the Great Lakes. It was a forward-looking order that fused climate responsibility with national interest. Education and Inclusion Executive Order 13,555 reignited the White House initiative on educational excellence for Hispanics, proving that equity in education wasn't just a campaign slogan, it was federal policy. Transparency and Classification Reform. Executive Order 13556 on controlled unclassified information was a game changer for information sharing and national security. It helped eliminate bureaucratic fog and fostered clarity across agencies. But 2010 wasn't just about the executive orders. It was about how those orders moved the needle when America needed momentum. Domestic and global events that shaped the context. Let's not forget, 2010 was also the year of the Affordable Care Act being signed into law, a legislative behemoth that expanded healthcare access to millions. It was also the year of the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill, one of the worst environmental disasters in U.S. history. President Obama's executive response, Executive Order 13543, showed a command-centered, transparent, and bipartisan attempt to deal with crisis through accountability. Abroad, tensions with Iran and North Korea remained high. Executive orders issued that year strategically targeted the economic arms of both regimes, showing that diplomacy and sanctions could walk hand in hand. Reflection. President Obama governed with a steady hand and a deep belief in American resilience. His executive orders in 2010 reflected not just reaction, but vision, a vision that understood the long arc of justice, innovation, and progress. And while not every order transformed overnight, many of them laid the foundation for what we now consider common sense policy on education, employment, cybersecurity, civil rights, and environmental protection. Now it's time we look closer, much closer, at the top 10 executive orders of 2010, The ones that didn't just sit on paper but moved people, protected values, and reshaped our institutions. Stay with me, because the next segment dives into them one by one. Let's see where the ink met impact. All right, folks, let's go back to the year 2010. The dust of the recession hadn't even settled yet. Families were still hurting. Main Street was still limping. And Washington, gridlocked. But President Barack Obama didn't wait. He acted with his pen and with his purpose. And what followed was a wave of executive orders that didn't just fill the void, they paved new roads. He made it easier for students and recent grads to serve their country. He opened doors in the federal government when other doors were slammed shut. He empowered veterans to build businesses, not just a thank you for their service, but a runway for their futures. He responded to the BP oil spill with truth, not cover-ups, investigations, commissions, and long-term plans to protect our coasts. He stood up to Iran and North Korea, not with empty words, but with direct action, sanctions, pressure, accountability. And right here at home, he expanded opportunities for Hispanic students. He fought for the disabled to have a seat at the table. He made information clearer, not cloudier. And he reminded the federal government, your job is to serve all Americans. Those executive orders, they didn't just shape 2010, they're still shaping how we work, how we hire, how we protect, and how we prepare. The pipelines we use to bring young talent into government, they started there. The frameworks we use for information security, right there. The efforts to rebuild trust after environmental disasters, laid down in that moment. But now the question is, which ones rose above the rest? Which executive orders truly stood the test of time? Which ones moved the nation forward in ways we still feel today? Let's take a look. At the top 10 executive orders of 2010. Number 1, EO 13562, recruiting and hiring students and recent graduates. This one was big, folks. We were watching a generation of young people, smart, driven, full of promise, getting sidelined in a job market that didn't have room for them. So what did President Obama do? He rebuilt the federal hiring pipeline, internships, fellowships, career pathways, not just for policy wonks, but for engineers, IT pros, community advocates. That order opened the door, and thousands of careers started walking through it. We still use that system today. Number 2, EO 13556, Controlled Unclassified Information CU. Now let me tell you, before this order, government info was a mess. Different agencies had different labels, different protocols. Confusion cost us time, and in national security, time can cost lives. This executive order cleaned house. It created a universal standard to handle sensitive but unclassified information. It brought order to the chaos. And guess what? That same system helped us share faster and safer during COVID, cyber attacks, and more. Number 3, EO 13553, blocking property of certain persons with respect to Iran. Now we're talking foreign policy with bite. Iran was involved in some real human rights abuses, and we weren't going to let their bad actors hide behind banks. This order froze their assets, sent a message. If you harm your own people, the world sees it, and America will act. That executive order became part of a broader pressure strategy we still lean on today with regimes in North Korea, Russia, and beyond. Number 4, EO 13547, stewardship of the ocean, our coasts, and the Great Lakes. After the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, we knew we needed more than just a cleanup crew. We needed a plan, a national ocean policy. This order was it. It coordinated efforts from coast to coast, brought states and tribes into the conversation, and made environmental protection a long-term priority, not just a headline fix. Number 5, EO 13555. White House Initiative on Educational Excellence for Hispanics' Equity in Education isn't just a dream, it's a duty. And this executive order put that belief into action. It focused federal resources to close achievement gaps, support bilingual education, and boost college access. In 2010, that mattered. In 2025, it still does. That order got continued under multiple presidents for a reason, because it worked. Number 6, EO 13543. National Commission on the BP Deepwater Horizon Oil Spill Accountability Matters. When that rig exploded and oil flooded the Gulf, the American people demanded the truth. This order created the commission that dug deep. They didn't pull punches. They exposed failure, and they sparked reforms that still guide how we drill, monitor, and protect today. Number 7, EO 13540, Interagency Task Force on Veteran Small Business Development. You serve your country, you should have a shot to build your business. That's what this order was all about. It brought together agencies to clear red tape, streamline contracts, and support veteran entrepreneurs. Veteran-owned businesses grew because of this, and we kept that momentum alive. Number 8, EO 13546, Optimizing the Security of Biological Select Agents and Toxins. This one flew under the radar, but it's one of the most critical to Homeland Security. It strengthened the system that watches over dangerous pathogens. Anthrax, botulism, all the scary stuff. Why? Because we knew biological threats didn't just come from labs, they could come from enemies. This order made us safer, plain and simple. Number 9, EO 13559, Principles for Partnerships with Faith-Based and Neighborhood Organizations. Let's be clear. Faith groups and nonprofits do incredible work, but we had to make sure federal partnerships followed the Constitution. No bias, no discrimination. This executive order updated the rules, made the partnerships more inclusive, more transparent. It balanced compassion with fairness. That's good governance. Number 10, EO 13534, National Export Initiative. America needed jobs, and one way to make them, sell what we make to the world. This executive order launched a full-court press to double U.S. exports, with trade missions, financing support, and better coordination. It wasn't just about Wall Street. It was about Main Street manufacturers getting their goods to markets overseas. Closing reflection. These 10 orders, they weren't showboating. They were solutions. Each one of them targeted a real problem in a...
Some write history with blood, some with laws. But the sharpest stroke comes from the pen. Executive power ain't just a tool. It's a weapon wielded by the few, affecting the many. They sign it. We live it. They order it. We obey it. Here, watching, digging, remembering. From the plantation to the proclamation. From internment camps to civil rights stands. From surveillance laws to student loan draws. Order can change your life. And you might not even know it, but now you do. So stay locked in, stay woke, stay sharp. We ain't just talking about power, we tracking it. Executive Order Watch, and we ain't blinking.